The way in which engagement is sort of set up is by creating activities which students have to think really hard, not too hard that the obstacle is too high, but it's in their zone of proximal development, that it's something that they've got a strong connection to emotionally. It's connected to the real world, the outside world. It's something which is quite meaningful for them, and it's something that they're doing. So it's not the teacher at the front telling the kid, taking control of the experiment or whatever. The kids are actually doing that themselves. So when those things are happening for a child, something goes on inside their heads which really is very different to a sort of procedural engagement, which is simply just being in the room and following instruction. So student engagement really is being in that space where nothing else matters, where every thought you have is about the learning activity you're on. It's the type of learning that we would do in our everyday lives, and it's the learning we do without realising, and it's creating that sort of situation in a classroom and really getting kids to be in the moment. In terms of what I do in the classroom is to create that engagement. There's the actual setting up of the lesson, which is taking into account that the learning which is in the child's zone of proximal development, so it's really content which challenges, but not challenges to the point of overcoming their capability at that moment. It's creating learning situations which students have a natural connection to, so it relates to the outside world. It's part of a narrative, or it's really about something which is important to them, creating those lessons where students are actually doing the learning. So it's not a matter of the teacher just dispensing the knowledge out the front of the classroom. It's really the kids are throwing the ideas around. They're in this community of learning where we're all bouncing ideas off each other. And as well as sort of setting the lesson up in that way, there's really the environment of the classroom. That process was highly motivating for all the students involved. It basically allowed them to achieve a high level of understanding for all the related and integrated content areas.
Last term we had a symbolised project which we had to do with a teacher, which was making your own symbol relating to you and your family.
And then like tomorrow we're probably gonna paint it and like make our own fabric and everything. Sometimes before we have our project they explain it to us more so we understand, and then if we ever need any help, so we just go ask them and then they tell us what to do.
One thing that I make a really big comment about is to always stay patient with the student, because the student doesn't get it with a blink of an eye. He has steps, so for example, when you say you can't just go 10 steps at a time, you have to go step by step.